Hello, everybody. My name is Jake Harper, and for my final project, I created an educational infographic titled The Journey of the Alphabet From Ancient Symbols to Modern Letters. My goal here was to create something that was accessible, visual, and engaging for a general audience, not necessarily people that have a background in ancient writing systems. I chose the infographic format because it allows me to almost simplify a very complex historical topic into something simple and visual that's easy to understand, but also, still emphasizing the complexity of the material. So my infographic here walks the viewer through the development of the modern English alphabet from the Proto-Sinaitic script all the way down here to the modern English alphabet. I used a scroll slash like kind of parchment paper designed to reflect the historical nature of this topic, and almost mimic something that ancient writing was created on. So that's kind of that's the style I used here. Um, so why did I choose this topic? The alphabet is something that we use every day, but most people don't even know where it came from or even how it evolved. Our modern letters are a result of thousands of years of cultural exchange and adaptation. So, studying the history of writing systems and the alphabet helps us appreciate how human societies shared information and essentially built civilizations. Um, this topic really is at the core of what we've been learning throughout the semester. I know we've talked about many of these throughout the semester, so I figured it would be a kind of an exciting topic to kind of end the semester on, do some research, and then kind of present to you guys my findings, and hopefully you guys like the format. So. Um, really, the alphabet is one of the most successful and widespread writing systems in human history. It connects different cultures, and it demonstrates how writing systems borrowed from each other and built, and they kind of evolved throughout history. So we will start here at the top with the Proto-Sinaitic script from 1850 to 1550 BCE. This is one of the earliest alphabetic systems developed in the Sinai Peninsula. It was influenced by Egyptian hieroglyphs, but it used a smaller set of symbols or sounds. The Proto-Sinaitic script is considered the ancestor of many modern alphabets. It's very important because it marks the shift from logographic to phonetic writing. So instead of just being a symbol, we're starting to see a trend in sounds and letters almost. So from like an Egyptian hieroglyph, the ox head symbol, it eventually became the letter A. And you can kind of see the symbol here where I'm highlighting. And then if you move down here, these here, I'll go through the Phoenician alphabet, and then I'll kind of explain to you my symbols here. So the Phoenician alphabet, from 1050 to 150 BCE, was developed by the Phoenicians, a seafaring people of the Eastern Mediterranean. It was spread widely through trade and colonization. So because this location in the Mediterranean, it was able to spread very quickly, and everybody was able to adapt, or everybody in the region, I should say, was able to adapt fairly quickly. So it has one of the first true adjabs, symbols for consonants only. And then it is simpler than the cuneiform or hieroglyph, so it was easier to learn and spread, like I said earlier. So here, I want to take you to this. This is kind of the ox head symbol. This wasn't necessarily an A in the Phoenician or in the Proto-Sinaitic script. It just kind of has an ox head symbol and kind of like an ah sound. But once you evolve into the Phoenician, it has an elf, like ALEPH sound. So you have the ox head, and then it evolves into an alf, right? And then here we've got, almost like a ripple looking symbol. And in the Phoenician alphabet, it's the sound of mem, M-E-M, mem. And then if we go over to this symbol here, the Phoenician alphabet here, translation is to said or said. So we have A as in alpha, we have M as in Mike, and then we have S as in Sierra here. So these are just some very basic terms, or translations and evolutions of these three letters. So let's move down to the Greek alphabet here. The Greeks adapted the Phoenician alphabet and added vowels, which was a major innovation. Letters like alpha and beta gave us the term alphabet. So this is very, it's a kind of a fun fact there. This became the first true alphabet with consonants and vowels. So here you can see these are the same translations for, A, alpha, elf, and in Greek, it's, pretty pronounced alpha. And then here for M, in Greek, it's pronounced m, like almost as M-U, m. And then if we go to S, it's kind of got a very, very similar M-looking symbol, but in Greek, it's san, like S-A-N, san. So it's a little complicated kind of following the journey of each letter or symbol, but you can just see how fascinating it is seeing the evolution of each symbol here. And then with the Greek alphabet, you've got some stuff that's still around today. If you look at fraternities or sororities in colleges, you've got the delta symbol, you've got the sigma, the omega, and this is the psi up here, PSI. So it's interesting that we removed, or I guess through evolution, humans they removed these symbols, and then they added different letters, and we'll go through that more here in a minute. So we're going to go to the Etruscan and Latin alphabets here. So you can see the timelines of these. Of course, they're going to overlap. They're evolving at different rates. They're in different geographic locations. So some alphabets are evolving and they're changing at different rates and just through different cultures here. So the Etruscans borrowed the Greek alphabet and passed it to the Romans. The Romans modified it to create the Latin alphabet, which we still use today. Latin became dominant due to the Roman Empire's expansion, and some letters changed shape or sound. But like the letter C was used for both K and G in the Latin alphabets, essentially. And then the Latin alphabet was standardized and adapted to other languages. So here, this is the same. We've got the A symbol. Okay, it's pretty similar to the Greek alphabet. And you've got the M symbol, and then the S symbol, which is still kind of similar to the Greek alphabet. And eventually, it's going to change into what we know as today as the S. So the modern English alphabet, we've made it to it. So today's alphabet has 26 letters, but as you can see throughout this evolution, that wasn't always the case. There was vowels added, there was consonants added. Like here, you could see J, U, and W were added later. And like the letter or the symbol thorn that you can see kind of small here, this was dropped. So but there is a flaw with the English, alphabet or the English language is there's spelling inconsistencies due to multiple influences. You've got Latin, you have French, you have Old English. So there is some inconsistencies between demographics. But it is the most widely used script in the world for communication, science, and tech. So as you can see here, we've got an evolution, from the Proto-Sinaitic script, and this is kind of how the A has evolved down to here. This is how the M has evolved into what we know today, and then the S. The S kind of takes a weird, a kind of a funky journey throughout this, and it's just fascinating to see how the evolution of each of these symbols has created the alphabet that we know today. As you see here, the full alphabet. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Have a good day. Bye-bye.